Contre la loi travail, on est là. Contre les capitales qui en feront la peau. Dans le bonheur et la joie, on est là.
They want President Macron to scrap his economic plans, too draconian for them. These protesters fear that staff could be fired too easily and that labour unions will have less power to help employees. The population is divided. Macron's reforms were a key campaign promise.
Why all this mayhem here in Juillan-Josas? You should have thought about voting for the right candidate in the first place. All of a sudden, nobody supports Macron?
I didn't vote for Macron because I knew I'd be taking to the streets. But you have to respect those who voted for him to prevent the far right from winning. They're honorable people too.
This is the first demonstration against the bill. Their aim, disrupt the summer convention of the MEDEF, the employers' union.
À ceux qui veulent rallonger le temps de travail.
Le sens, c'est d'aller voir les donneurs.
We want to go to those who called for the executive order that will break the labor code, as in the MEDEF, the employers' union. It's in Juillan-Josas for 2 days, and practically all members of the government have joined them. We're launching a wave of social movements.
Que ça sait faire, c'est de voler leurs propres frères.
Around 300 people have taken to the streets, but they've been stopped opposite the prestigious business school HEC. At the employers' summer convention, more than 7,000 businessmen are discussing the future. They seem pretty optimistic and hope that France's economy will keep improving.
There are so many reforms to carry out. I hope Macron has the courage to fully put them into place.
Today we see that some of the promises made during his campaign, namely reducing payroll taxes, have been pushed back to 2018, maybe 2019. That's a problem, because businesses would have liked to benefit from it straight away.
Macron won't attend the MEDEF's convention, yet his reforms are on everybody's mind, including the boss of the bosses, Pierre Gattaz.
I'd like us to keep our positive vibes and to start a new era. After 30 piteous years, now we want to head towards 30 audacious years.
Gattaz wants President Macron to go the extra mile. With the help of fellow businessmen, he's compiled 60 ideas to revamp the jobs market.
Ridding ourselves of pessimism, that's the goal.
It's fundamental, we're up for it.
For him, the labour reform is only one step forward.
We have to aim for an unemployment rate of 5%, not 9%. We have to push for reforms that will enable us to build trust and boost enthusiasm. With our employees, we need to build France's future. It's not one camp against the other. It's not about bosses against employees. It wouldn't work otherwise.
With his economic reforms, Emmanuel Macron hopes to cut the unemployment rate to 7.5% by 2022. In this village in northern France, joblessness is at 20%, double the national average. This leisure centre offers cultural activities to children. 145 families take their kids here. Today, it's an art workshop. A banner urging the French government not to scrap state-funded contracts. 5 out of 6 employees could lose their job next spring.
Parents living in towns nearby all bring their kids here. So if the centre shuts down, what activities will the children have left?
Such contracts are largely funded by the government. They're supposed to help long-term job seekers like Carmen Burles. At 54, she could soon lose her job.
It has allowed me to get back to my working life. It had been too long since I last had a job. I've been lucky to get this contract, with kids and great colleagues. I couldn't hope for a better situation.
The French government wants to reduce state-funded jobs to 310,000, hoping to save 1.5 billion euros. The leisure centre's manager says the Labour Ministry notified her of the decision via an email at the very end of the summer break.
Due to budget restrictions, we're forced to review the number of contracts renewed this year. We didn't get an email telling us that we have the funds to keep all these job positions. We're not the only ones to have received this email. And there are other priorities for the government. For example, social services, retirement homes, etc.
Faced with job cuts, the leisure centre could be left checkmate next autumn. Another company struggling to make ends meet, GM&S, a car parts supplier. Staff protest in front of the factory of their main client, Peugeot. They're greeted by the car maker's managers, who deny being responsible for their economic woes.
We're not here to fight. The fact that the riot police is here, it's normal. They're just doing their job. But they're not doing their job. They should be at the factory working.
GM&S is the second private employer in the Creuse region. The French government has tried to help find a new buyer, but workers are not satisfied.
There used to be 600 employees at the site. Now we're only 277, and tomorrow we'll be 120. For a region like ours, where there aren't any jobs, it's tough. What are we going to do? What are we going to become?
We're going to join our colleagues. 80 people are waiting for us over there. We sleep in the truck. We want to stay here all week. We have blankets and mattresses.
At 54, Didier Soulas has worked 36 years at GM&S.
I'd like to get some training, but what am I going to do? Truck driving? I don't have enough experience for an employer to give me a full-time job. We're here. It's up here.
Protesters block the entrance of the factory. The government has vowed to help and train 157 workers set to lose their jobs.
Macron told us he's not Santa Claus. I don't know if he'll help us, but I don't believe in Santa.
In the meantime, these protesters say they will not back down until their demands are met.